Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to week number 3 we are now of Ku-ring-gai Council Lockdown Live Yoga here in the beautiful Swain Gardens of Kelara. So as you can see, we are very fortunate to be filming in such a beautiful location today. And it has very much the character of kind of English countryside. There's cherry blossoms out. It's absolutely gorgeous. So if you do have a chance and you're local, I would highly recommend to come and check it out. So today's overarching focus of the yoga will be balancing. So we're going to have some fun and we'll get started in what we call hero's pose in yoga. So just coming to almost kneel on top of the knees and then your hips towards the feet. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can just come to any kind of seated position. But otherwise, as always, coming to find a nice, tall, straight spine. Left hand will be placed over the heart space. Then your right hand gently resting on the ground beneath you. The invitation here is to close down your eyes. And starting to notice, just becoming aware of the physical space that you're in. Maybe feeling the ground, the support of the earth beneath you. Feeling into the temperature of your room. And any passing sounds from the external environment, just allowing them to come in, but then letting them all go. Begin to arrive into your body's breath. And just noticing the quality. Is it short or is it long? Is it shallow or is it deep? Breathing in, sending your inhalation through to the base of your spine. And breathing out, just allowing the sit bones to be heavy, softening and deepening into your seat. And feel the gentle pulsation and beat of your heart against the left hand, and the grounding and supportive qualities of the earth below the right. And taking time to set an intention for your yoga practice today, no matter how big or small. Let's take one full deep breath in together. And exhale, sigh the breath out, let it all go. And gently blinking, open your eyes. Welcome to your practice, yogis. So we'll come to our tabletop position. So as always, just a little warm up for our spine. We'll begin with cat-cow. So palms underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips, wrapping your elbow creases forward, and then coming to find your neutral spine. Your inhale breath, start to dip the belly, scoop the tailbone up and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale to tuck the tailbone in and under, rounding through the spine as you press the ground away. Inhale to come back to your cow pose, open through the chest. Exhale to round. And just taking a couple more like that. But I'd really like you to just focus on connecting the breath with movement. So the inhale is your back bend. The exhale to round. And taking just one more cycle through cat-cow with your own breath and in your own time. And slowly returning back to neutral. And then just like last week, because we are focusing on our balancing postures today, you'll start to extend the right leg out behind you. So just notice what it feels like to only have 3 of your limbs now pressing down to the ground, pointing through the toes, straighten the leg, and then if it feels available, start to extend and reach the left arm as well. So adding on to our cat-cow, the inhale breath, we find that same back bend. Exhale, we tiger curl, so knee towards the elbow and round the spine. Inhale to re-extend, so balancing through the front palm, the back knee. Exhale, calming back through center. Just one more. Inhale through to that back bend like shape. And exhale, returning all of that energy through center. Release the palm, the knee, and just take a little bit of a side-to-side cat-cow here. Nice. So returning through to your neutral. This time it's the left leg that will extend. So once again, just feeling into the space where we now have 3 limbs making contact with the earth. Maybe extending your right arm. And we add on to your cat-cow. So the inhale breath, let's open up, back bend. Exhale, knee to elbow round the spine. Inhale to re-extend, steady with your balance. Exhale to come back through center. One more. Inhale, making yourself as long and expansive as possible. Exhale, drawing everything back in. Then once again, knee and palm back to the floor. Taking that side to side little cat-cow. Coming back through center, begin to extend your arms a little further out. So wrapping our elbow creases forward, start to press into each of your 10 finger pads. And instead of just leaning into the palms, try to press the ground away here. So the arms are really strong to help you balance. Start to tuck your toes, send the hips up towards the sky for your first downward facing dog. You might like to pedal out the feet, walk the dog. Just start to open up the back line of the legs. Breathing in and out, all through the nose if you can. And as you press the ground away with your palms, can you send your heels a little closer towards the earth? Hips pointing up towards the sky. Let's take one collective breath in together. And a clearing, deep breath out. Inhale slowly. Start to tiptoe the feet all the way up to the top of the mat. And then as you arrive, feet will come nice and wide. Generous bend in the knees. And let's cradle the arms here. One of my favorite poses, Ragdoll. So just allowing your upper body to be completely heavy. You might like to shake the head no, nod yes. And just knowing that this is always available and a really nice way to gauge if we're holding or if we're gripping then if we are, to just let go. One more breath in. One more breath out. Releasing your fingertips to the earth. We root to rise, so grounding down through the feet. The inhale breath, slow motion. Start to peel vertebra by vertebra, all the way up to stand. Your head and neck will be last to rise. Then once you arrive, let's just circle through the shoulders, releasing. If it feels good, you might like to take an interlace and take a gentle back bend. Nice. Slowly coming back through center. Bring your feet a little bit closer, so just in line with your hips. Start to release your arms by your side. We're coming into our Tadasana, mountain pose. Nice, so we're just going to take 5 or so breaths. And some of you might be familiar with this breath, the Ujjayi breath, or our warrior's breath in yoga. But it's just inhaling and exhaling all through the nose, but with a slight constriction at the back of the throat. So it's as if you're maybe fogging up a mirror, but with your mouth closed. Almost sounding like an oceanic breeze. And just let it be really natural, soft, steady, and smooth. Taking one more breath in together. One more breath out. Now inhale breath, take your arms up to the sky. Wrap your right fingertips around the left wrist. Then we're going to take a side body bend. So just opening out, bending to the right, but releasing your left sideline. Keep twisting the heart space towards the sky. Good, everybody. Then inhale to release, come back up through center, and then same on the other side. So this time the left fingertips will wrap around that right wrist, and then that same opening through the right sideline as you bend to the left. Inhale to come back up through center, and then exhale, one of my favorites. It's not really yoga, but it just feels good. So a bit of a rinse out for the upper body. This is really good, particularly if you've been doing a lot of sitting or desk work. And maybe taking one more to either side. Slowly coming back through center. And we're coming back to our Tadasana here. Now, as today's focus is going to be on balance, my 3 biggest tips. The first one starts with the feet. So let's just start to rock the weight back and forth. Try to spread through your toes. And then start to peel the weight to the outer edges of the feet. Rolling into the inner edges. And now try to find the middle point between all of that. Draw your attention to the point below the big toe knuckle, the little toe knuckle, and then to the heel. You can even feel into it with the hands if that helps. And these really are the 3 points of balance within the feet that we use in yoga. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is the breath to help us stabilize and find kind of our stability within the poses. And then the third point is what we call our drishti, or our gaze in yoga. So wherever we're looking, typically the lower we look, the easier the pose becomes, and trying to fixate your focus or your gaze on something that won't move. So with all of that in mind, let's come to our first little balance today, which will be tree pose. So I might face you guys so it's a little easier to see. Start to place all of your weight into the right foot and then just balance onto the left toe tips for now. That's more than enough. So really gaining that stability through the right foot. Start to take your right hand on the right hip, and then with the assistance of your left hand, see if you can place your foot either below the knee, so just resting on top of the calf, option 1, or if you feel like you can go a little bit higher, maybe taking the left foot on the inside of the right thigh, but just ensuring the foot's not pressing into your knee joint. So again, let's keep the drishti, the gaze, nice and low. Find a spot that won't move. And then options for your hands. You might like to come to Namaste, so hands in prayer at heart center. And then if you feel steady here, maybe you can start to release the arms up towards the sky. You can even add in a little mudra, chin mudra, to get really yogi. And if you really want to test your balance, you might like to just take a gentle sway from side to side, swaying tree. And then maybe even closing down the eyes. Good, let's take one more breath wherever you've taken your tree to. And then exhale, gently release your left foot back down to the ground. Give it a little shake out, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So this time we put all of our weight into the left foot. So think big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle, heel. Spread through the toes. Option 1, right foot presses into the left calf. And then again, if you have a little more space, maybe the right foot comes onto the inside of the left thigh, and think about opening the hip too. So option, hands at heart center, namaste. Otherwise maybe arms reach up, taking your chin mudra. Good, and then again you can take that little sway, just rocking it from side to side. And final little challenge will be to close down the eyes. Let's take one more breath, wherever you've gone to. And then the exhale, gently release the arms. Take the right foot back down to the floor. Give it a little shake up. And then we'll all meet back into Tadasana at the top of your mat. So let's take one breath in together. One breath out. And your inhale breath, start to take the fingertips up to the sky. Gaze to the thumbs. Exhale. Start to hinge from the hips and lower all the way down into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, and this time we'll just step straight back to a downward facing dog. So both legs back, hips pointing up nice and high. Deep breath in to prepare. And exhale, let it all go. Your inhale breath will send the right leg high for a three-legged dog. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to nose. Step your right foot between the hands, finding runner's lunge first. Now grounding down through your feet. Once you feel stable, the inhale breath, lifting on up through to a high crescent lunge. So really focusing on your feet here, spreading through the toes. And whilst you're feeling and grounding into the earth, just try to feel a sense of balance and stability through your body. Taking one more breath in. To exhale, we open out to warrior two. So just like last week, gazing over your right middle fingertip, deep bend into your right knee, and then pressing weight into the outer edge of your back foot. Take one more breath in, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, maybe lunging a little deeper. Inhale, we flip the front palm to reverse the warrior. Left fingertips reach down the left leg. And just opening up through the right sideline. Now upper body will stay the same. Start to straighten into your right leg. And keep twisting, opening the heart to the sky. Now you can keep your drishti, your gaze low. Or if you feel stable, maybe looking up. One more breath in. And exhale, release the arms, well done. Starting to prepare for our Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale to reach your right fingertips as far forward as you can. Exhale to open out your arms. So again, twisting the heart, the chest towards the sky. Option to stay, or if you want a little challenge, you can reach your right arm out in front of you, palm facing up, staying strong through the legs. One more breath in, and exhale, gently release the arms, come back to upright, and then let's take our left hand onto the left hip. So similar to last week, take that soft bend into your right knee, and then we'll step the left toe tips to meet the right, preparing for half moon pose. So again, focusing on the foot first, big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle heel, spreading through your toes. Start to take your drishti, your gaze down to the ground. Take your right fingertips there as well. The left leg will lift. Think you want, as if you're between two shards of glass. So your left hip is stacking on top of the right hip, flexing and active through this left foot. And then if you feel okay, maybe the left arm extends up to the sky and breathe. So our second balance pose for today. If you fall out, you can always come back in. Remember, it's only yoga. One more breath in. And then your exhale breath, slowly start to rebend into this right knee. See if you can gracefully land back into a warrior two. Inhale to flip and reverse your warrior. And then exhale, release the arm, straighten into both legs, and then you'll pivot this right foot in to meet the left. So preparing for our standing forward fold. Take your arms parallel to the earth. Deep breath in together. And exhale, we hinge from the hips. Then start to take your palms underneath the shoulders here. So option to just stay in your forward fold. Otherwise, we'll pulsate with the breath. So the inhale for a halfway lift, coming onto your fingertips. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift back up. Exhale to lower. One more and then we'll stay. Inhale, breath back to the fingertips, lengthen the spine. And exhale, this time we stay. So just allowing your upper body to be heavy. The head and neck relaxed. Grounding down through your feet. And just allowing the body to really soften in this gentle inversion. Taking one more breath in. And one more breath out. Inhale to come back to the fingertips, lengthening through the spine. And then your exhale breath. Now trust yourself here, guys. You've got it. We're going to pivot to the back of the mat, taking our high crescent lunge first. So it'll be that deep bend into your left knee, coming high up onto the ball of your right foot. Again, you can use fingertips to get your stability first. And then your inhale breath. We lift on up. So the arms reach for the sky. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, maybe sinking a little lower. Let's take one more breath in, grounding down through your feet. One more breath out. Start to take your right foot down to 90 degrees, adjusting the feet if you need, as we open back out to our warrior two. So shoulders relaxed away from the ears, taking your drishti, your gaze, once again over that left middle fingertip. Inhale, we lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale to sink a little lower. Start to flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. So right fingertips trickling down the right leg and creating a deep opening through your left sideline. Now start to keep the upper body the same, but the left leg will extend and lengthen. And then you can play with the drishti, the gaze here. So you can keep it down nice and low, or if it feels okay, maybe looking up towards the sky. Taking one more breath in. And your exhale, start to take the arms parallel to the ground, preparing for our triangle pose. So inhale, we reach the left fingertips as far forward as your body will allow. Exhale to open out, triangle pose. So again, you can play with the drishti, play with the gaze, whatever feels good for you. An option to keep it classic, or maybe for a little challenge, you can extend the left arm out in front of you. Palm facing up. We have one more breath. And exhale, gently releasing. Well done, everybody. Inhale to lift on up. And then from here, same as before. So we'll take our right hand onto the right hip, soft bend in this left knee, then just start to step your right toe tips towards the left foot. Now most of your weight is going to ground down through your left foot. So think big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle and heel. Slowly start to take your drishti, your gaze, out in front of the foot. Fingertips towards the floor. The right leg will lift. So think those two panes of glass, right hip stacked on top of the left. And you're more than welcome to stay here. Or maybe the right arm reaches up towards the sky. So just having a play with our half moon pose. So think those three little tips for our balance: the feet, the drishti, and the breath. We have one more breath in. And then your exhale, that same slow motion transition. Soft bend into your left knee. See if you can land back in that warrior two stance. Inhale, breath to flip and reverse the warrior. And then exhale, start to straighten into your left leg once again. Now pivoting the feet back to that wide-legged stance. So slight pigeon toe. And then we'll take the hands on the hips this time. Inhale, breath to open through the chest. And exhale, we hinge it down to the ground. Now option one, you can press your right palm into the ground. Left fingertips reach up to the sky for a twist. Or option two, the right palm can travel to your left ankle and then maybe adding on a bind. So that left palm on top of the sacrum or wrapping around your right hip crease. Two more breaths, wherever you've decided to take it. And then you'll gently release anyone who went for the bind. Come back for a little halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Left palm presses into the ground. Right fingertips reach up towards the sky. Option one, for the same on the other side. Or maybe left palm will wrap around that right ankle and then taking the same bind with the hand. So either on top of the sacrum, maybe towards your left hip crease. For two more breaths. Final breath in. Final breath out. Gently release. Come back through center. Inhale breath to take your halfway lift. And then slowly start to pivot back to the top of the mat. You can press your palms down to the ground. Step the right foot back into your downward facing dog. Might feel nice to pedal out the legs once again just to release the hamstrings. And then let's all take a collective child's pose. So knees will come down to the ground, nice and wide, big toes to touch. And then slowly allowing the upper body to just melt into the ground. And we have 5 breaths in your child's pose. So allowing the body just to soften, to deepen into your breath. Really allowing your breath here to act as an anchor, as your connection between the body and the mind. Noticing if there's anywhere you can soften. Taking one more grounding breath in your child's pose. One more deep breath out. Inhale breath. Start to lift back up through the torso. You'll begin to tuck the toes, send the hips high through to your downward facing dog. So once again, just pedaling out the feet if that feels good. And eventually coming back into some stillness. Deep breath in together. And declaring deep breath out. Your next inhalation, we'll take the right leg high once again. Then a little different this time, just to play with our balance. See if you can open out the hip. So bend the knee, heel towards the glute, and just breathe. Taking one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, coming back to that 3-legged dog-like shape. And this time, exhale, we step the right foot between the hands. Now finding your runner's lunge first. Really important to ground down through the feet here for your stability. Inhale breath. Once you're ready, returning to your high crescent lunge. So we won't be staying here as long this time, but try to spread through the toes. Come high onto the ball of the back foot. Begin to take your hands through heart center, like namaste. And then keep your legs as they are, but slowly hinge the torso forward. So creating a nice long diagonal line. Energy pouring forward through the crown of the head. And take your drishti, your gaze, down to the right toe tips. Take one deep breath in here to prepare. And then exhale. See if you can lift your left leg off the mat. So coming into warrior 3 pose. So you can keep your hands at heart center. Maybe a capital T shape. But really focusing on those 3 points in the feet. Keeping your drishti, your gaze, nice and low. One more breath. Well done if you're still in it. And then exhale, hands through heart center. Slowly start to bring your left knee towards the chest. And then exhale, Left foot down to the ground. You can shake it out. Well done. So once again, coming into some more balancing poses. Let's ground our weight down into your right foot, spreading through the toes, taking your right hand onto the right hip. I'm going to face you guys once again, but you'll be at the top of the mat. And then option 1, taking your left knee in towards the chest. So really grounding down through that foot. Option 2, you might like to bind the 2 peace fingers around the left big toe and then extend your left leg out in front of you. So almost like you're making a footprint on the front wall of whatever room you're in. Try to draw this shoulder back into its socket, nice and straight through your spine. You'll take a deep breath in, whether it's your knee or the toe, and then your exhale breath. See if you can open either the knee or the foot open to the left. Now option to stay here, or for a little counterbalance, maybe the right arm extends. Then you can take your drishti, your gaze, for a little challenge over the right middle fingertip. Taking one more breath in. And exhale, hand back to the hip if it's not already. Bringing your foot or your knee back in through the midline. Slowly starting to release the bind. And then take your fingertips up to the sky. Just one breath here to lift your knee as high as you can. And exhale, release. Give it a little shake out once again. Take your hands through heart center. Inhale, breath. Bring your left knee towards the nose. Exhale, we hinge the torso forward. And see if you can step high up onto the ball of your left foot. Inhale, breath, back to your high crescent lunge. And exhale, hands come down to the ground. Step your right foot back to downward facing dog. So you can pedal out the feet. Just release through your body. And taking a moment to reconnect with your breath if you've lost it. Taking one final collective breath in together from your down dog. And exhale. It might feel nice to sigh it out. Inhale, breath. This time the left leg high. 3-legged dog first. And then just like before, see if you can open out the hip. So bend the knee, take your heel towards the glute, like a little yawn for the hip. One more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale to return back to 3-legged dog. The left leg is in the sky. Exhale, left knee towards the nose. We step it back through to runner's lunge. So again, just taking your focus to the feet, spreading through the toes. And then once you've got that sense of balance and stability, the inhale breath, we'll sweep the arms up to the sky, back to high crescent lunge. So not staying for too long, but really just grounding down through your feet. Take one more breath in. In your exhale, hands will travel to heart center. Same as before, begin to hinge the torso forward. Legs stay exactly as they are. And then allow your drishti or your gaze to travel to the left toe tips. Take a deep breath in to prepare. We know what's coming now. And then your exhale, if you wobble, it's okay. Bring your right leg up and your torso parallel to the ground for warrior 3. So again, you can keep your hands at heart center, maybe extending and reaching them overhead for a capital T-like shape. And just breathing. So stability through that front foot, keeping your drishti nice and low. One more breath in. And exhale, hands will come through heart center, knee in towards the chest. Woo. Then we can shake it out. We made it. Well done, everybody. So we have the same on the other side now. So this time we're still facing the front of the mat, but the weight will come into your left foot, and then the left hand will travel to your left hip. Option 1, to take your right knee in towards the chest like so. Or option 2, the 2 peace fingers bind around the big toe, and then maybe the right leg extends. So whether you've got option 1 or 2, we want to ensure that this shoulder is in its place, in its little socket, straight through the spine. Take a deep breath in to prepare. And then your exhale breath, either opening the right knee or the right foot towards the right. Again, this is plenty. If you want a little bit more of a balance challenge, left arm extends, and then maybe the drishti, the gaze travels back to the left fingertips. Taking one more breath, wherever you've gone to. And then exhale, gently releasing. Let's bring it all back through center. Left hand to the left hip if it isn't already. Inhale, breath, we release the bind. Lift that left leg as high as you can. Woo. And then exhale, shake it all out. We'll meet in Tadasana at the top of your mat. And once again, just taking 5 breaths. Ujjayi breath, so in and out through the nose if you can. And checking in with your shoulders, that they're drawing down and away from the ears. Each inhale, lifting you a little taller through the crown. And each exhale, feeling into the connection between your body and the earth. Allowing all of the energy you've created from your practice so far to settle and be absorbed within your body. Let's take one grounding breath in together. One clearing breath out. Inhale, you can open up the eyes if you had them closed. Fingertips reach up to the sky. Let's salute the sun. Exhale to hinge forward. Lower all the way down to your forward fold. Inhale, breath. Halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to plant the palms. Let's step it back to downward facing dog. So our final one. And start to pedal out the legs, whatever feels good for you here. And once you've had a few little pedals, we'll all bring it back to everybody's favorite, child's pose. So knees out nice and wide, and you can take this one however you need it. So if it looks like this with the arms extended, amazing. But if you want a little bit of an upper body release, maybe taking the palms towards the heels. 5 breaths. Once again, to just allow all of that prana or energy from our balancing postures to calm and settle within the body. Completely still in your body and steady with your breath. One more breath in together. One more breath out. Inhale, slowly coming back up to upright. Let's swivel round to the sit bones. We'll begin to stretch it out. So coming to our butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees will come out nice and wide. And let's enter with a tall, straight spine. So this is important for any forward fold in yoga. Inhale, we lift and lengthen, create space and length through your spine. Then the exhale breath, try to keep your spine straight for as long as you can. Hinge from the hips, lead with the chest. And then when you can't anymore, then you can begin to round. So perhaps taking the outer edges of the feet with the hands, and just encouraging your head towards them. Ensuring that your head and neck is relaxed. And breathe. And checking in with your shoulders. They're down and away from the ears. Deep release for the hips and for the glutes. Let's take one more breath in together. One more breath out. Your next inhale is slow motion, peeling of the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Head and neck will be last to rise. And once you do, we just take those same delicious rolls of the shoulders to release. And walk your palms out behind you. Let's squeeze the shoulder blades open through the chest. An option to stay with the chin tucked under, or if it feels okay for you, starting to allow the head to go all the way back. So just feeling into a rare stretch for the neck and the throat. One more breath, wherever you've gone to. And then slowly coming back through center. We'll release the hamstrings. This one's called Pashimottamasana. So both legs extend, toe tips towards the face. And then once again, we want to ensure we enter with a nice tall straight spine. Your inhale breath, fingertips reach up to the sky, create the space, the length. Exhale to hinge from the hips, lead with the chest, and then any amount of forward fold that feels good for you. So it can be calves, ankles, feet, whatever feels available for you today. But try to keep active through your feet. So dorsiflexion, toes towards the face. Melting your chest, your belly towards the thighs. Notice if there's anywhere you're holding. And if there is, sending your breath, your awareness into those spaces. 3 more breaths in your own time. And once you've completed your 3, it's that same slow motion transition. As if you're moving through honey, peeling the spine back to upright. Head and neck will be last to rise. And then once again, like we're hanging out at the beach, Palms out behind us. Let's squeeze the shoulder blades together. You might like to stay here. You can even add on a little windscreen wipe for the legs to release through the hips, the lower part of the spine. And if you are moving or swaying, taking just one more to either side. Gently returning back through center. Let's scooch the hips up so you've got enough room to lie down behind you. And then slowly, with control, let's start to lower all the way down to lie down on the back. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest. Option to stay here or happy baby for one final release. To deepen your breath, allowing it to slow down. And in your next couple of breaths, there's no rush, but we'll all eventually meet in your final pose, your resting pose, Shavasana. So you can take your palms out facing towards the sky, shoulders away from the ears, gently closing down the eyes. And each breath in, sending your breath and your awareness through to the base of the spine. Feel your lower belly rise. And with each exhalation, softening, deepening into your relaxation, Shavasana. And without moving your body, Starting to deepen your breath, breathing in, breathing out, inviting some gentle awareness and movement back into your body, fingertips, toes, head and neck from side to side. In your inhale breath, reach the arms all the way up and overhead, pointing through the toes for a full body stretch. And take your deepest breath in for the whole day. And exhale, sigh it out, let it go. And draw your knees in towards the chest for one final little hug and squeeze. And gentle rock. And then slowly rolling over to one side. Allowing your body a chance to just return to its natural rhythm of breath. And pressing your way back up to a comfortable seated position, and whatever that looks like for you. Let's take our left hand back over the heart space, the right palm gently resting on the ground. And keeping the eyes closed down, taking a moment to come back to your intention, if you set one at the beginning of class. Let's take one final deep breath in together. Into clearing breath out. Hands will meet at heart center in prayer position. Taking a moment to express gratitude to yourselves, to each other, and to our amazing community, Ku-ring-gai, for allowing yourselves the time to create new space, not only within the body, but also within the mind. And to that we bow. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody at home, for joining. Again, this is the beautiful Swain Gardens at Kalara. Thank you for joining week 3 of Ku-ring-gai Council Lockdown Live Yoga. Any questions, comments, I'm happy to get back to you. Otherwise, I hope you get outside and enjoy the sunshine today. Have a beautiful weekend, and I look forward to practicing with you soon. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.